Romantic Horror Story, 7 Vows with the Ghost Bride Episode 1. This story is inspired by real events. The names of the characters and locations have been changed. The rain poured down, as if the sky wanted to empty all its sorrow onto the earth in a single night. It was around 11:30 p.m. All around lay winding mountain roads, dense forests, and endless darkness. Driving his SUV carefully through the storm was Ritwik Sen, a young architect from Kolkata. He had built a strong reputation for restoring old palaces and ancestral mansions. 3 days earlier, a businessman from North Bengal had invited him to inspect a century-old royal palace. The man had said only one thing over the phone. "I want to buy the palace, but first, I need you to tell me whether it can still be restored." The assignment itself sounded ordinary, but there had been a strange hesitation in the man's voice. Before ending the call, he had added one final warning. "If you arrive late at night, try not to go near the old palace by the roadside." Ritwik had simply laughed it off. He didn't believe in ghosts. To him, every mystery had a logical explanation. Then, thud, something white suddenly darted across the middle of the road. Startled, Ritwik slammed on the brakes. The tires screeched violently. His SUV skidded off the road, plunged into a ditch, and crashed into a massive tree. He had no idea how long he had been unconscious. When he finally opened his eyes, a sharp pain shot through his forehead. Touching it with trembling fingers, he realized he was bleeding. He searched for his phone. The screen wasn't broken, but there was no network. The battery had only 4% remaining. He tried starting the engine. Nothing. Outside, the rain showed no sign of stopping. Staying inside the damaged vehicle until morning was almost impossible. Cold wind and rainwater kept pouring in through the shattered windows. Switching on his flashlight, Ritwik began walking along the road. After nearly 10 minutes, a flash of lightning revealed a gigantic palace in the distance. A towering iron gate. Stone lions standing guard on both sides. Even through the darkness, it was obvious that this place had once been magnificent. "At least I've found somewhere to spend the night," Ritwik murmured to himself. As he approached the gate, a strange chill crept down his spine. No one was there. Yet he couldn't shake the feeling that countless unseen eyes were watching him. He pushed the gate open. It creaked loudly before slowly swinging inward. The moment he stepped inside, he froze. How was this possible? From the outside, the palace had looked abandoned for decades. Yet inside, everything seemed perfectly alive. A grand crystal chandelier glowed overhead. Old oil paintings decorated the walls. The marble floor shone as if it had just been polished. The air carried the delicate fragrance of tuberoses mixed with incense. Somewhere in the distance, the soft melody of a Shane floated through the halls. Ritwik could hardly believe what he was seeing. Just then, a faint sound of anklets echoed from the upper floor. Ting, ting, ting. He slowly looked up. A young woman stood halfway down the staircase. She wore a white sari with a deep red border. Her long black hair flowed past her waist. Glass bangles shimmered around her wrists. Her eyes were calm, yet they carried the weight of an endless weight stretching across centuries. She descended the staircase with graceful steps. A gentle smile rested on her lips. "You've been caught in the rain," she said softly. Her voice sounded so natural, as though she had known all along that he would come. Feeling slightly awkward, Ritwik replied, "My car met with an accident. I was wondering if I could stay here for the night." She didn't let him finish. Smiling gently, she said, "A guest never needs permission to receive shelter." Ritwik stared at her in surprise. Some people's smiles inspire trust the moment you see them. Hers was one of those rare smiles. He asked, "Do you live here alone?" She remained silent for a few moments before answering. No one who carries memories or waits for someone is ever truly alone. Ritwik smiled faintly. Your answers are quite mysterious. She laughed softly. If I answered every question on the very first day, what reason would there be for us to meet again? Despite himself, Ritwik laughed. For the first time since the accident, his fear seemed to melt away. The young woman spoke again. My name is Emrin Aleni. Ritwik extended his hand. I'm Ritwik. Emrin Aleni didn't take his hand. Instead, she gazed quietly into his eyes and said in a gentle voice, Your hands are freezing. Change into some dry clothes first. Then we'll talk. Ritwik looked down at his own hand in confusion. She hadn't even touched him. How did she know? To be continued.